Riley Gaines spoke in the Dirthick Hall behind me as she discussed her journey, her support for Charlie Kirk, and even took questions from the audience. Small business owners at the Hamilton County Incubator say they're worried about the future of the program. That's as county commissioners prepare to discuss a measure at tonight's meeting to remove their current building. Many Cleveland residents are feeling the impacts of this winter storm. Some are bracing for power outages and turning on their generators, while others are making snow angels and starting snowball fights. I think that's a good occasion to go every Monday night, but you need to have the 64 crayon box, and you need to have the crayon sharpener in the back, or else I'm not coloring.
I see.
The land that I'm standing on in a few months will turn into a 300-unit apartment complex along with an office building. It's one of several projects designed to fill up this land in front of the new ballpark. It was at this Barcoo plant on Monday morning where police say a former employee shot and killed 2 supervisors. Latricia, Josh, this parking lot was filled up and then some this afternoon when Battle Academy let out their students. Residents say the overflow from that traffic is spilling into their neighborhood and taking up space.
This is not something the taxpayer should have to pay. We need to hold the polluters accountable.
Amber and Leroy Fletcher purchased 5 acres of land in Dalton in 2011. But say they noticed the water coming from their faucets smelled.
Overnight, we were worried about our health and the health of our kids because we thought we were being healthy.
In 2024, the Fletcher family had their land, water, and soil tested for PFAS contamination. Those test results came back and showed the PFAS levels of the dust that came out of this grass were at over 1,000 and 9,000 parts per trillion. Leroy Fletcher told me that every time he cuts the grass, he considers wearing a mask. The Fletchers say they now buy jugs of water for cooking and drinking and have thought about getting a filtered water system for their house.
And we also threw all of our nonstick pans away and went to cast iron. And that's all we cook with now.
After getting these test results back, the Fletchers joined PFAS Georgia in suing carpet manufacturers Mohawk and Shaw, as well as several companies who provide the chemicals for those carpet companies. The Fletchers say the carpet companies need to be held responsible for polluting their land and water.
If there's no legal remedy for it, then they have no incentive to stop doing it.
But Representative Casey Carpenter's bill would let carpet companies slide for civil damages if they can prove they didn't know the chemicals they used were harmful. Carpenter says Mohawk's legal team helped write the scientific language of the bill.
How is that right? How is that right?
Mohawk lawyers deny those allegations, saying, quote, Mohawk takes its environmental responsibilities seriously and it complied with its permits and environmental regulations. Mohawk says they are suing chemical suppliers like DuPont and 3M because they trusted their judgment and that those companies, quote, committed fraud.
You know, there's a lot of people here that has been affected by PFAS, and, you know, they need to make things right.
This is Alex Gajovich-Protich, News Channel 9. The state of Tennessee says 9 people have died in boating-related fatalities so far this year. State data shows that number is higher than it was at this point last year. Richard Sims with Scenic City Fishing Charters says hearing about any boat-related tragedy is difficult because boating is supposed to be a relaxing activity, not a deadly one.
Great day of fun that turns to tragedy, and you know that like I say, that strikes an emotional chord for people that you hate to see at any time.
Sims adds that many of these incidents may be linked to speeding, collisions with other boats, or simply operators and passengers not paying close attention on the water.
Most collisions are just the result of somebody not paying attention. They're distracted.
We asked Brian Lee with Towboat US whether anything seems different on the water this year. Lee says lake levels are lower than normal for this time of year, and with warmer than usual weather, more people are getting out on the water earlier in the season.
Lake levels are still very low because of our lack of rainfall. The lake levels have not come up to summer level.
Tennessee law does not require adults to wear life jackets while on the water, but boaters are required to have life jackets on board. Lee says they should consider wearing them anyway to avoid tragedy.
Anytime you accidentally fall into the water is a potential where you may not get back out of the water.